Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and I'm back with a Country Craft Creations design team tutorial. I've already done a walkthrough of this album using Country Craft Creations exclusive Love Letters collections, and in that walkthrough I do discuss that I use both things from 8x8 as well as some things from the 12x12, because with her collections I always say get both. It's definitely worth it. And her collections have so much paper in it. You can get so many projects out of her collections. But if you can't do that for whatever reason, you can do this book in either the 12x12 only or the 8x8. Just some of the elements might look different because like on the cut aparts and tags, they'll be either like in the 8x8 smaller or in the 12x12 larger. So just know that. But this is a fairly easy album to build. This is definitely like a beginner style album, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look like a seasoned, experienced crafter's album. I love to do easy albums. I love to try difficult, not too difficult, because it just like, yeah. But I have no problem doing simplicity type folios and albums. That is fun too, and sometimes it's just instant gratification. But all we're doing is we're going to build the cover, and then both pages are exactly the same, so we will build one set together. I already have one built, and I'm doing it. I did this album in Country Craft Creations Artisan Kraft cardstock. And in this one that we're going to do the tutorial, it's going to be in the natural linen, which is like an ivory cardstock. It's one of my favorites because it's not cream and it's not white. So it's like the perfect combination in between. And mostly because with what we built today, more than likely, I am going to use the Country Craft Creations. Let me see if I can grab it here. Forever Ireland Forever collection. I've done projects in this and I just love this collection. I just think it's stunning. And then I finally got the companion pack, which I think Tamra is working on getting companion packs for more of her collections, which I think will be amazing, because who doesn't love to have some extra just plaids, just extra papers that don't have, all these stuff to layer up the projects. So that is my plan, that I'm going to use this as another project once I get this built. And I'm not sure, I might mat in a green, I might mat in the Glamour Glitter that is back in stock. She even has, I think, a little bit of the Glamour Glitter Emerald and the Lucky Green is in stock right now. So if that's something you want, I would hurry on over and get that right away. Or might do it in the mirrored gold. We'll see. I don't know. I like to you guys know I like to layer them up. So we will see. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And I did use on 4 pockets total. I used my envelope punch board. You do not have to, I have something on there, you do not have to use this at all. You could use a circle punch to get a thumb notch, or you could just leave it straight. So just know, you don't always have to have all the things that someone does in a tutorial. Okay, so here is what we are going to get started with. So for the cover, let me get my stuff. So for the cover, we are going to need 2 pieces of cardstock to cover our chipboard, 7.5 by 9.5. 2 pieces. I've already done one here. And then you will need 1 piece to cover the spine, and that is 4.5 by 7.5. We will do that together. At least I think, if I could find, oh, there it is. And then the 2 pieces of chipboard are 5.5 by 7.5, and this one is 1.5 by 5.5. Then to cover, once we built that, the inside of the spine, I did 5 inches by a little bit less. So I like to do my little less than symbol, a little bit less than 5.5. And then for our hinge, this is what we are going to be doing. It is 2.5 by a little bit less than 5.5. And then we'll score these pieces together. So let's go ahead, and that is for the cover. So we're going to go ahead and just do the cover first. And then I'll give you the measurements for the pages, which is very simple. And I think total, I know for sure I used 6 pieces of 12 by 12. I might have used 7. But again, for me, I cut all my big pieces first, and then with the cutoffs is what I determine, like what I have for a pocket, what I have for photo mats, etc. Okay, so let's get out our large chipboard piece, and we have this here. Let me just get situated a little bit, and we're just gonna wrap this. Again, if you are new, there's several ways to do your you're covering your chipboard. I do this most of the time, or I just eyeball it. But you can score an inch on one side, score an inch on the other, and then that gives you a spot to line it up, place it down. You can eyeball it, stick it down, or where are they? I feel like, I don't know why I always have these out of place. And I don't know where I stuck them. Was I playing with them? But you can use, I know they're like right in front of my face right now. They have to be, because my room is not a disaster. Hold on, just trying to lift up these books to see if they're under this. Nope. Well, they're spacers, people. And you can use that to get the same L type of formation. I don't know where I stuck those. Okay, so we're just gonna stick this down. And I love score sheets because I know I will get a good stick. So I love to buy score sheets. I will try to remember to link those in the description box below. And this doesn't have to be straight. I don't know why I'm trying to get it so straight. Because it doesn't matter. And I didn't get it straight anyways. I totally made that crooked. Okay, so just come in and give it a good burnish. You want to make sure your covers are nicely done. Okay, where's that? All right, and then for our spine, so you're going to do that first to both. I'm going to do the spine real quick, and then we will I'm going to put the scoreboard away for a minute. So you could do the same thing, 1.5 this time, because we like to add a 1/2 inch wing to each side of your spine. And I probably did this wrong. I did. Nope, I did not. This is right, 1.5. I didn't need to do that either. Okay, and then turn at 1 inch. If you are new to my channel, I'm so sorry. This is the Hot Mess channel, if you have not figured out. We just have fun, and we just go with it here. You guys, it's paper. This is our happy place. This is where all the worldly things get left outside our crafting area. And we just go with it. So I know it's harder to see on, I think it's harder to see on the cream, white, whatever you want to call this, ivory versus the black. But like I said, I did want to use this afterwards. So I have 1 inch left on both ends of the top and bottom. Sorry, I'm putting my hair up because it's hot under these lights. So 1 inch here, and then 1.5 inches on this side. And let's give it a good burnish. Hopefully this video isn't longer than an hour. It should be fairly easy, but you guys know how I do. Somehow I take something that should be 30 minutes and it's a lot longer. Okay, so let's go back to this one for a minute. I don't know why I'm hopping around. So I'm going to put score tape on mine because I like score tape. You could do wet glue. You guys know our rule. You do you, boo. I know, I'm a mess. A mess. And oh my goodness, for those going to, we're going to do all 4 sides. For those going to the Country Craft Creations in-person May retreat in May, if you have not heard, I am teaching for the first time in person, and it will be a disaster. But it will be a funny disaster. We're still going to have fun, right? I'm just warning you guys that, you know, this is me. This is what you get. And I have an eyelash poking my eye right now. Oh my gosh. It will be comedy. And it's going to be recorded, so there will be proof of the comedy show. But if you can't do in person, I'm just telling you though, the in person is going to be so much fun. I don't think the in person part is sold out yet. It might be, but there is the virtual option, which is nice that Tamara is doing that now. But this one's going to be fun. It's the 10th anniversary of Country Craft Creations, so we pretty much just, you know, so far this whole year I've been celebrating the birthday. And we have we just did a birthday box kickoff. It was a virtual day a week ago, basically. Like a week ago? Yes, like a little over a week ago. And there was so much fun and everything. She's added a box number 2. And that is with different papers, different designers, different projects. Like, it's out of control. And I will have a video hopefully soon this week showing you what was in box number 1, what we made. I'm just trying to, I have one more project to finish, which is unheard of, that I've gotten most of them done. But they were just great projects, a variety of projects. And if you don't do birthdays, because yes, these are all birthday themed for the most part, you can change most collections. You can turn to a B-side. You can at least get the design, you know, and gift the collection to somebody if you don't do birthdays. So just, you know, just know there's options. And we're just going to bend this all the way around and kind of work the fibers. Most of the time I don't get cracking, but on this one that I did make, there was a little bit of cracking. So I'm going to try something different and see if it is my score tape that I'm doing on the spine. So I like to just, I'm determined to test it out and see why. Because most of the time Artisan does not crack, but every once in a while it does. And if you live in a dry, I think it's a dry area, you want to keep, I live in Washington, we're not dry. But I keep all my Artisan in plastic that it comes in, and then it's in like a plastic envelope. Anyway, so for the most part, it doesn't, you know, but it's paper. Sometimes it happens, and you guys, it is no big deal if stuff, I know you OC peeps out there, it drives you crazy. I got you. I got it. But it really is. I have plenty of albums that have some cracking, and I just kind of repaired them, did my little MacGyver action, fixed it. And if you really hate looking at it, you can wrap the book in, you know, cardstock, or put some frills on it to disguise it. There's ways to fix it, so don't ever get discouraged by that. But I'm determined to test how to not have cracking. I don't know what that looks like. I just spit all over this. I have a spitting food tonight. Oh my gosh, I can't. I am a mess. Can you get the bone folder on there? Okay, but yes, so there's going to be a birthday box too. Oh, I forgot to say it's on April 13th. And I've already seen some of the things. You are not going to want to miss this one, just saying. And then the main birthday one, yes, there's going to be some gooders. You're definitely not going to want to miss this big celebration for May. But the April, like I said, it's a virtual, one day only. Tamra will do a live or two. I don't know how many she's doing, but she did amazing giveaways. Like Doodlebug, who Cynthia is just amazing. Donated some things to give away, and the prizes were awesome. I'm just kind of shaving my corners a little bit so they're not so sticky outy. And then I'm pushing these corners in. Then I'm going to add my little bead of glue. Like so. But for the May retreat, I have already seen the collections that we are playing with. And OMG, there's going to be some new stuff. So you definitely are not going to want to miss it. And don't look at my busted nails. I'm getting them done tomorrow. I'm so lazy now. I don't ever want to leave the house. I'm like a little hermit crab. So I am way past, you know, getting my nails done. Plus a girl's got to stretch stuff out. You know, she's Paul over here. Not working. You know? My toes are so busted. That's the one thing I was like, okay, I can give up my pedicures. Not that, you know, I needed to. I gotta say, I have like the best husband. He does not care. But I was like, no, that's wasted money. I'm not doing that. But they're so ugly. I said I would do it myself. No, they're not done. There's no polish on those toes. That's why I have socks on at all times. No barefoot around here. Oh my gosh, totally some ugly looking toes right now. Like I said, I'm not wasting money. I have craft supplies to buy. This unemployed girl needs to buy some craft supplies. So she's giving up I hate pedicures. I don't know if you've ever heard me say that before, but I actually don't like it. I just was lazy and didn't want to. Anything I do, I always say to people, I'm high maintenance to be low maintenance. That's really just because I am lazy. I don't want to have to do stuff like I have on false, you know, not false, but lash extensions. And that's only because I don't want to put on mascara every day, and I barely wear makeup now that I don't work. And I really look busted with no makeup on too. But I always say, it, you know, all that matters is I can look cute when I need to look cute. But, oh, my poor husband. Okay, so now let's take the spine. So we should have 2 of these done now. 2. Okay. And then you're just going to fold, again, the sides, working the paper. And I personally feel like this helps eliminate cracking as well. So I do like to do this quite a few times. It really loosens those fibers. And then we like to go the opposite way, bending back that fingernail. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that's what this feels like. It's going the wrong direction. Okay, and then I just come in with my bone folder and kind of push the paper up against the edges. I do this different in every video. If you've been watching my tutorials, you know I do this different all the time. I can't help but looking at all my scratch marks from my dog. It's cracking me up. It just looks so nasty. Okay, I'm going to cut the corners off. So just from score line to score line, fold to fold, all that good stuff. You don't have to do this part. If you follow all the Country Craft Creation designers, our head honcho, Tamra, which this is her lay flat method, she cuts out the corners completely. I can't. I do not want to see that chipboard at all. Even if it's just a little speck, I don't want to see it. Okay, so I'm putting glue up against the chipboard, coming here. I'm trying to skip because, again, this is where sometimes it cracks. So just going to get enough, but leaving around this fold open. I don't know if it makes a difference. Can you guys see? I don't know what you guys can see. I just keep trying different things. That's all I gotta say. Hoping that I will find the perfect formula. I really do think it depends upon if you use glue or score tape with the cracking. But I don't know. I don't know. So again, just coming up against there, not going over my 2 score lines there. Because I used to put some there to really make sure it was in, but I'm just trying different things. So you could put glue all over this whole thing if you want to, because I don't know that I have the right formula yet. But we're just gonna keep trying. All that really matters is that this is glued down, so I like to just kind of push any excess glue I have in there out. And we got that on there. Now come in, again going up against that chipboard piece, because this is where we are going to have this, you know, up against our other thing. So I like to do mine like this. And that's why, like, Tamara doesn't do the squares, and she probably never has cracking, because she doesn't have that overlapping of paper. And that's where I feel like anytime there's been cracking, it's where paper has overlapped. Unless you have cheap paper, then it cracks all over the place. But Artisan normally does not, but every once in a while. Just saying, every once in a while. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, bump my scissors up against that chipboard, and just miter that a little bit. Same thing here. You don't want to do too much from this point down, because then you can see it when you connect it to your spine that there's a little gap. Again, not that it really matters. So let's come in, and I always do a dry fit, so we're looking good there. I'm just going to come in and crease this just a little bit. So let's get some score tape, and I need my 1/4 inch. And even with this, you do not have to have, where is it? Okay. Guess we'll be grabbing a new one. You do not have to have score tape on here. You can use your wet glue. I just like to do both. So I like to come down about 1/8 of an inch, sometimes a little bit more. I like score tape because it grabs right away. And then I like to make sure that it is a good stick with the glue. But if you have not watched me before, I don't like the glue at the very top when you put the two together, because sometimes it seeps out on the outside, and I hate seeing, it's clear, but I can still see it. So I do not like that. So I like the 2 glue method. So we'll get our wet glue, put this baby on here like so. And I'm just going to stick these 2 together. It is better that way. I don't know why I did it like that. So I just like to kind of hold it in my hand one way You can have it totally flush here, but I do like to have a little bit of a gap, just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. Again, just burnishing, getting that all down. If you ever hear cracking when you're doing this, my theory is that if you were using glue, like sometimes, can you hear that a little bit? You might not be able to hear that. But you did not have like enough on there, so it started drying before you burnished. It's no big deal. We just all don't like it. Okay, now we're gonna get this one on. Give it a nice little dry fit here. Good, good, good. Take my tape off. See, like this one, it is up a little bit. I don't like that. Oh, my daughter's home. Here she comes. Hi. Huh? Yeah. All right. Hi. Yes, my babies know the rules. When they come in the house, they have to come say hi. You know, just manners, right? I'm sure she'd rather just always go straight to her room, but she loves her mama. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the top there. I'm just kind of checking down here before I give it a good burnish and press it in. There is our shell. We're just gonna test this stuff all together. See, and what I don't like, even though, I don't know, I haven't got my favorite like way of doing the lay flat method yet, because it does add some bulk and extra layers. And again, that's why the master cuts it out, because she knows she doesn't like those extra layers either. I can't handle the chipboard. So we have our little book. There we go. Lay flat. Boop, boop. So nice. Just checking. Okay, it's looking good. Looking good. And I do like to come back through. I don't know why. Don't go too hard. But I just like to give it a little bit. Now let's see if I have anything off. That's okay. So there we go. That's going to be our front. Now let's get our piece to cover this, which is this one here. And again, remember, if you have a cutoff and it's not quite 5 inches, that's okay. You don't have to have it 5 inches. We just typically like it to go beyond this piece, but I've done it shorter and the book is just fine. So I'm just doing a dry fit to make sure nothing is hanging off, and we are good. And I'm going to try just something a little different. I'm going to use my score tape just around, because I really want to see if I cannot have the, we're going to see, the cracking. I don't even know, because I didn't use the same cardstock. It could have been the cardstock I was using. I mean the color. Or it could have been the batch. Who knows? I'm just trying stuff. So you guys are forced to try it with me. Or just do your own, of course. But no matter what you want, usually like with this, I will take the whole piece and have score tape on the entire back. But I just want to see, because my cracking typically comes right in here, if I ever have it. So I just want to see if this does something different. I don't know, I don't know. So just taking this off, and then I'll add wet glue to everything else. We're just gonna see. Okay, so it needs to go this way. I'm gonna put my writing down. And get all my edges so it's nice and tight. You definitely want to get, because I want to make sure that spine area, that's most important. I overanalyze everything, if you have not noticed. I'm sure no matter how you do it, it's fine. But I just like to try different things. That's why I have a different way every time. Well, almost every time. Okay, so I'll hurry and get that stuck. Sorry about this shaking, because I want to get it stuck inside here before it dries. Little boo boo. And we're going to see, give that a good burnish. I'm just going to keep doing it to make sure I have a good seal everywhere, especially around the spine. Most important. Okay, so far so good. I am going to stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. It's very scary. None there. I'm going to keep testing this little method out, because I really feel like it's when you have score tape on those layered up pieces. Okay, there we go. So again, here is our book. Let me get a little crease there. Looks good. Now we have our spine piece, which is where, here it is. So get your piece out that is 2.5 by 5.5. And we're going to do this together. So with the 2.5 across the top, we are going to score at 1/2 inch all the way, like so. Then, of course, I didn't bring my little cutter over here, so you guys know the drill. This is my workout, just going back and forth. Never being prepared for a video. I think I am, and then I'm actually not. So just shave off a little smidgen. Because we're doing this little floating, I call it a floating hinge, even though it's not like floating because it's still connected to the actual spine. But I call it floating because it doesn't have wings. You guys tell me what I should name it, but that's why I call it that. Okay, so now let's get out our score tape. And I'm going to do both ends. Like so. And then everything else we do pretty much from here is just doubles of everything, because there's only 2 pages. So I'm going to stick this in the middle, because this is what gets stuck down. Actually, I want to do a 1/2 inch on that, because on mine it's popping up just a little bit, not popping up, but I just wanted to have a nice tight grip. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, because this is what is going to put it down on the actual spine. And I could see I went over a little bit. We don't want that. Burnish those down. Okay, and before I fold, oh, we could fold them over. Let's just do it. So fold both ends over, and now because we took off that little 1/16 of an inch, it won't impede when we go to put it down. Let's take off your backing. I feel like I have a little hangover. You don't want to see any of that. You want to have clean books. I'm going to take off both of these. And then we're just going to fold that over. Fold this one over. Burnish. And then now come back in and fold them both inward. And there is our hinge. Voila, voila. And give it a good crease. Now you could do glue on here to connect your pages when the time comes. I'm going to do score tape, so I'm going to do that right now. But you know, I do like to, again, I'll do, and I'm using a 1/4 inch because I don't like to see any type of tape or adhesive come out the bottom of my page. But I like to do 1/4 inch, and then I'll do glue too, just again to kind of have a little bit of wiggle room before it sticks. And we'll miter these corners, and then we'll get going on the pages before we stick this in, which mine, I'm going to have, no, I still can do it. I think I'll still put it in, I don't know. I'm trying to decide because usually you put your decorative paper down first if you want it, but I could put this on and then just add strips on the outsides, or I could just not do anything. So miter these corners slightly from this score line out, in. It does not have to be a big miter because you still want your pages to stick. So we have our little hinge that is going to go right here. So again, just doing a quick dry fit so you can see I can still, let's just stick it in. Let's just stick it on there. So for now, I'm going to do this, but I am going to add a bead of glue to kind of help with placement. If you're somebody who likes to measure to make sure you're exactly even in the middle, you can do that and then just have light pencil marks where you want to go. I'm just going to eyeball this, which my eyeballs are crooked, so it's always crooked, just in case you're wondering. And I'm trying to, oh my gosh, trying to move my lighting so I could see a little bit better down here. Maybe I'll use my mat and get myself centered, kind of, sort of. But I have a little bit of time. Like that looks good, but you can take a ruler and kind of measure. But we're good. We are good. So again, this is very important that because it does not have the wing, you do want to make sure this is stuck down really well. And for me in Washington, like I said, I don't think I've ever had issues with my score tape, this kind of score tape, not sticking over time. It is always like stuck. I've had other score tapes start to peel away, but that's why like glue does work better, because if you're in a is it a humid climate that happens? I don't know. We're good here in Washington for all the things. Okay, so we are ready to go. Now let's build the page. So I'm just going to set this over here. So let's get out your 2 pieces. Let me give you guys all the measurements of everything first, because everything I'm about to show you is 2 of everything. Well, there's one that's 4. So for the base pages, you guys, hopefully you aren't hating my just laziness one-page wonders. Because we have another one. I did take a 1/2 inch off this. So we need 2 that are 11.5 by 12 inches. And then we are going to score at 5.5 and 11 on the 11.5 side. And then we will turn it counterclockwise and score at 7 on the 12. So that is the first one. And then I just have, we are going to cut along this score line to this one here. And then we will be notching over here. So it's just kind of reminded me when I'm doing my projects what to do. Then for the pocket on the back, we need a piece. Sorry, I'm trying to get that shadow out of there. That is 2 pieces that are 6.5 wide. So 6.5 by 3 inches. And then we're going to score it a 1/2 inch on all 3 sides here. So 2 shorts and then a long. And then a notch here at 3 1/4 inch if you want to notch yours. Then we will need 2 pieces for the tags. If you're doing this actual collection, this is what I use to mat the tags with. So 2 7/8 by 5 5/8. So you do not need this at all if you don't have that collection and if you don't want to have the tags. And you can add plenty of photo mats throughout this whole thing. Then we have 4 folders that are 5 1/4. So they're 5 1/4 and then by 12. And we are going to score at 6 1/4 on the 12-inch side. So nice and easy. So I'm not going to break out my scoreboard for all that. Well, I will for the big page. Let's do the big page together. But you guys, this is really an easy album. And it just, you can add your details to it. And you could add more flaps if you want to, more photo mats. You could add waterfall in the back cover, inside cover, etc. Just have fun with it. So with the 11 1/2 across, we're going to go 5 1/2 and 11. Then we're going to rotate this way to your left, counterclockwise, and at 7, score there. Now, oh, and I did use my corner punch in this project too. So now what I want us to do, and you could use your trimmer, it'd probably be way straighter than what I'm about to do, but I'm just going to come in and kind of cut out this bump where the score line is. And you could turn it like this way if it's easier. I don't know, can you guys see anything? I don't know what you guys can see. Like right there, we're going to cut this out here. So we're going to cut through this 1/2 inch. Your trimmer would probably be way straighter. I mean, not probably, it would be. But again, once you kind of get this on there, nobody sees it. So I'm just coming on the other side of that bump to trim out a little sliver. Like so. And I just pull that out. Okay, now I gotta make sure, if you don't fold it the right way, you know, so sometimes I'll go like this and then figure out, oh, I gotta go the other way. That's okay too, but I do want, I know like how I want it when I fold it. Nope, I'm gonna go the other way. And this is only because I want my glued side on the bottom of my page. That's the only reason. So if yours is on the top, that is fine. It does not matter. Let's miter these corners really quick. Miter. And these ones too. Okay, so that's going to be the bottom. Yes, okay. I will unfold it and show you guys, because I know sometimes these one-page wonders kind of get you when you're trying to see it on the screen. Now I'm going to fold this one over, match up here as best I can, make sure I'm even, like so. Then I'm going to fold this one, but don't glue this down yet if you want to put a notch in it. Like that. Fold this under. Like so. So we will be gluing this to this one to this one, but this is going to be our pocket flap. So this is the base page, and then we're going to put a pocket on the back here. So this is what it looks like, just so you guys can see. Does that help? I don't know. Does this help? Don't know, but I'm going to give you guys all options. So you can fold the whole thing, let's just say down. You have your hinge in, so fold down on top of that hinge. Then fold this one entire thing over. That might be easier to figure out. So if you have your page again like this. You fold in these little hinges up towards you, then fold this down towards you like that, then fold this to the right. Does that help? Hopefully that was easy enough, but this is basically the page style, but I'm going to do the notch real quick. And I have one finished, so the notch that we are doing, I'm going to put it in at 2 3/4, and then I'll show you guys these other measurements for the matting and the paper, pattern paper, if you guys, you know, want to see that. So all I'm doing is opening this up. This is my side with the flap. You can do it either way. So you can do it like this, but I'm putting it at 2 3/4 because this measures, what is this, 5 1/2? I don't know. Yes, 5 1/2. So 2 3/4, punch. And then when you go, if you mat like I do, the next notch would be at 2 5/8. And then if you did the pattern paper on top of a mat, it'd be 2 1/2 is where you would do the next notch. Just so normally, or not normally, but pretty much that comes out perfect. So, ooh, I had the notch right there where it was supposed to be. But now we can glue these together. And this is the base of our album. And you can add more pages, even on what I have here. If you want 3, you can add 3. And it still will fit on this. But this is just, again, a nice basic shell. You don't always have to have a ton of interaction and fancy. Oh, and I probably should have. We got to glue the inside of this little pocket. So I just do a bead going all the way through. Try to get it somewhat even. And I'm going to burnish that and wipe off any excess. I do a lot just with my fingers. You know, I exfoliated my face today or last night, and now I'm doing my hands. So we have that done. Now let's glue down this. I'm hoping this is nice and easy because it should be. And like I said, you can elevate any tutorial by adding more flips and flaps. So feel free to, you know, just kind of venture out and have some fun with these projects. I might change up the Ireland one if I do it and add some couple things. I don't know. We will see. But there is the base to the front. Now we're going to add that pocket to the back. So that pocket is the piece that is 6 1/2 by 3, and we scored on 3 sides. Now we're going to come in and miter. So I just go between, got some sticky stuff on my scissors, between the intersection. Can you guys see how I just came right to the point here too? So I go right through that intersection like that. I miter the tops. You don't have to. It's just habit for me to do that. And then we're going to fold up. I'm stingy with paper, so I do not put paper all the way down when, you know, matting. So I'll give you the measurements for that as soon as we have our base totally built. But I do like to glue this down first, the bottom, and then I will add just a piece of tape. So let me just come in here. You'll find like what works for you as far as like what angles for you to be able to see things. Oops, slid that to the wrong spot. So I'm just trying to make sure I am at the bottom here. This is a pocket style page, and it will go onto our hinge, and then we're going to insert some flaps. So I'm just grabbing some Scotch tape, maybe. That was a fight. And I'm just gonna lightly put this down so when I do put things in the pocket, it won't, that was a terrible, oh my gosh, now I have to flatten those bumpy parts. It won't catch as much. So now we can glue the sides. Glue those like that. And like this. Okay, now you're going to get your piece. So there's 4 of these, and 2 goes into one page unit, one signature. So they're 5 1/4 by 12, and we score at 6 1/4. And then we need to use our punch. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I use probably for the first time this larger one. Oh my gosh, I hated it. And only again because I'm lazy, because I'm right-handed and I like to do all my punches upside down. I don't know why. For me, I have to see what I'm punching, where my paper is going. But when you do this one, I got to do it like this way. And it was, yeah, nope. This one will probably never get used again. I just was not feeling that. And let's just fold this over. So you will have 4 of these. And I already have one folded up. And we're going to stick one with the long side inside this large pocket. When we put it on our page, you guys will see. Let's write. I'm going to I put a magnet here. You don't have to, but this is just me reminding myself I'm putting a magnet. I think when I did the walkthrough, I showed that you could just slide it in if you wanted to. If you do a lot of layering, it might get kind of thick. But I used magnets, and I kind of did mine off to the side of the notch. So you have that one, and then we have a fold in here, and I put the shorter side, because this is shorter, facing this way, like that. So we have that, and then the tags, which I did around the corners with my little bitty. So they look like this. And that tucks in there. So let's just put it into the book. Oh, did I put, yes I did. It scared me. I was like, did I put the pocket on? Okay, so I'm gonna just take these out for the moment, but this is, this is done. We're just sticking this on. And Tiffany has finished within an hour. Oh my, well, I shouldn't even talk because you guys know I'm gonna mess up in a second talking like that. Oh my goodness gracious. How do these easy projects still go? I mean, I don't know that I have one tutorial that is less than an hour because I talk too much. Okay, so make sure this flappy is coming at you. I hold it open. Here we go. Pockets on the back, or you can have it on the front if you want to. I'm doing something. I'm sliding that in. I don't know if you guys can actually see because I can barely see. There's like a shadow casting. So as I'm sliding it in, I'm also making sure, as much as I can, that I am somewhat even, which I am not. What is up with that? Where am I at? Oh, it still looks good. I think it's mostly just my paper. It's not off too much, so I don't care. We'll see if I actually don't care and peel that up later. I won't, I promise. I should have did a dry fit first to see. Hold on, let me grab my other one. If it's a tight fit, and that could be it too. So again, grabbing this, and I'm gonna show you guys something here in a second. Yeah, good fit. It's good. That's gonna drive me crazy. It will drive me crazy. I just got a deal. Just deal, Tiffany. Your book is a little crooked. It's okay. It's handmade. Okay, a little strip of glue, just a little bead, and hold open. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're gonna slide it. Nope, that's not helping. I got all these shadows casting today. Ugh. Oh my goodness, there he goes. Okay, all I'm doing is just getting everything in there. I personally don't like to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, well that one's straighter. I could have lined it up with the crooked one and made it so they both were the same, but nah, we're not doing that today. There we go. I promise you guys, if you have something crooked, it's okay. Once you get everything in there, people don't notice it unless you're a crafter who's really nitpicky and looks at all that detail. Calling out your friend. Okay, so let's put our flappy doos in and we are done, but I do want to show you guys the other option. So we have that. We have these two. Oops. Oops. Did I not glue this whole thing down? Okay, just this one. Okay. So glue that one in, Tiffany, and glue the bottom. This silly goose. See, I was talking too much and then look what happened. I thought I was done. No, I was not. Crafting will let you know with a quickness that you are not amazing. I'm just saying, it'll smack you upside the head if you're thinking anything else. Okay, let me punch these real quick. I don't know why I feel like I have to do all these little things, but you know, I want it to be done. Okay, put this in here. Boop, boop, like so. And did I put the large in? Yes, I did. We have these two. Here we have this one. I put the smaller one on the outside. You don't have to. You could do, well, or you could do it all on the inside. You could do the smaller on the inside if you want, but we have that. Now, what you could also have, so this is horizontal landscape style, where it flips this way, but this could be a portrait as well. So you could turn this into a portrait album if you want to. Totally up to you. These would pull out down, pocket down. You could move the pocket to this side if you wanted to. So just remember, you can alter tutorials to fit the style that you want to play with. And they look totally different just in different paper. So different card base, all of that looks totally different. I have to have a little bit of creasing there. But for matting, so the cover, I didn't have it down for the cover, but the covers are 5.5 by 7.5. So your matting, if you mat like me with basically like a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, which is an 1/8 of an inch cut difference. So if this is 5.5 by 7.5, you would cut it 5 3/8 by 7 3/8 for the matting, and then for your pattern paper would be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and that would be the same for the back, I mean the fronts, the backs, etc. The spine is 1.5 by 5.5, and I cut mine, I always do it, let me show you guys, I cut mine almost always to what my original chipboard piece was. So like this mat is 1.5, and then I cut it. But always with any tutorial, measure yours, because I always say every scoreboard is different, every cutter is different. It alters the size of your papers, your projects. So always just measure your own stuff first and foremost, just to make sure things will fit. And then to mat this, we are at 59 and 40. Let's go, Tiffany. To mat the front pocket, it is 4 7/8 by 5 3/8. And then the pattern piece is 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I don't know why I put this. Oh, and if you need to do the notch on the mat, the notch will go in, I told you guys already, 2 5/8. And then the pattern paper will go in at 2 1/2 to punch out that notch on the envelope punch board. And then, let's see, don't think I have it on those, but this page, and these two are the same. This page is 6 7/8 by 5 3/8 for the mat. And then, maybe I should do this because you guys can't see my pencil marks. And then the pattern paper is 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let me just, so you could take a little photo of that. Can you see that? I hope. And then when you flip it, this mat, I think I have that here. So on the front with the shorter side, and that works for all of them, is 5 5/8 by 5 1/8. And then the pattern paper is 5 1/2 by 5. Then you turn it, and it's 6 1/8 by 5 1/8 for the mat. For the pattern paper, it is 6 by 5. So these are the two measurements there. Now, if you see my project, I have different things because I cut mine wrong in the beginning and I wasn't going to waste paper. So I had to add a little strip to mine because I cut these too small. So that's just a way, if you cut too small, just change your project and go with it. Just go with the flow. So here, the mat would be to go under. I'm going to lift this up because it's hard to see with this white. The mat would be 5 inches across to cover, to go through that notch, and then 5 3/8. And then the pattern paper would be 4 7/8 by 5 1/4. Then for the pocket, it is 2 3/8 by 5 3/8 for the mat. And then for the pattern paper is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And you would put yours at, what did we say that was? That was at 5 1/2. I think it's the same. Yeah, it would be the same as the other for the notch because they're both the same width. But that is it, you guys. It's a very simple project. We did this in an hour. It should have been sooner, but your girl talks too much. But there you guys go. I hope that you enjoy. I will hop back on if I get the Ireland Forever done. And if you have not gotten that collection and you're interested, I will try to remember to have that link below, as well as the love letters from Country Craft Creations. They're just beautiful papers to have in your stash for multiple things. So that is the tutorial there for our little love letters that we did kissing booth. And yes, the kissing booth does gross me out. Like, who would, that's like bachelorette or bachelor. That grosses me out, seeing all those people. If I'm gonna kiss, I better be the first one because I am not going after everybody else. Ew, ew, just cooties. You guys go. I do love the way the cover turned out, but yeah, ew. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and please share your projects on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook, or you can just hit me up on Let's Get Scrappy 1 on Instagram and share your project there too. I love seeing the projects done. I love seeing them done in other papers, but be sure to not hashtag me because I don't get notifications for that. Do at Let's Get Scrappy 1 if you do it. And same for YouTube if you do a video. Okay, thanks guys so much. Bye.